5 for contact.
The following program is for adults only. Parental guidance is suggested. In other words, we're gonna be fucking swearing and talking about fucked up shit. Get your goddamn kids away! Leave me alone!
Hello? Is this Sweet Jimmy Cook? Yes? Hi, this is Rich Ruff of the Ruff Boys. We heard you were looking for a new project. We think you're Ruff Boy material. Okay. Are you guys original or a cover band? The Ruff Boys are more than just a cover band. We're an experience. I'm sure you've heard of us. I have not heard of you. What stuff do you guys play? Well, the Ruff Boys are known for doing the faster Billy Joel songs, and of course, you know, the boss. Tony Danza? You're a cut-up. You'll fit right in. Okay, all I see online here is a leather daddy gay sex group. Oh, we're the Ruff Boys. R-U-F-F-B-O-Y-Z. Not that pussy spelling. Those Ruff Boys were looking for anything but pussy. Okay, here you are. Do I have to grow a mullet? Of course. Wait, and you guys do firehouse ballads? Absolutely. Are you Satan?
You wish, Jim Cook, as if the Dark Lord would waste his time on you.
So you're bragging that you're evil middle management?
Silence! I'm aware of your shenanigans and the shenanigans of this podcast. Jim Cook, I'm watching you. Every breath you take, every move you make.
That's a hack cover band song, man. Nobody fucking does that song, man. Who are you?
You'll find out soon enough.
Jim Cook, reporting for Cult of Contempt, checking out the Montclair music scene. Yes, I actually left the Clash Bar and went to a different place. Here's what happened.
And now, Cult of Contempt Podcast presents
Out and About with Jim Cook.
That's right. We sent Jim Cook to talk to people.
The Meat Locker. It's a punk rock club, and it's literally in a basement, and it's very unkempt, and I really feel like I'm in my tomb when I go there.
So where are you going to where you're going?
Well, see a friend's band. Her singer is in a different band.
That's a good reason to be there.
Yeah. And the other band has a terrible name. All right, tell me what you think. What do you think of the name Fetal Rage? Isn't that the worst band name ever? That's awful.
Yeah.
Like, why is the fetus angry? I don't understand. They're not angry. They're still developing. They're just kind of like bloop, 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 bloop. I had a friend, and Santos was his name.
Hey, this is Jim Cook. I just wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Eric Rusma, who fixed my fridge before spring fling. Check out White Glove Appliance Repair, 973-919-8263. He'll fix your shit, but he'll also teach you how to get a lot more life out of it. Good dude.
Hi, this is Ron Knoll from the Accelerators, punk rock veteran. Welcome to Cult of Content. I'm so proud of you, my son, Paul.
broadcast, random broadcast. Live from space, but really in a living room. Inquisitor is lurking brutally with an inquiry. It's time to name the asshole of the week soon. Cult of contempt. Cult of contempt. Cult of contempt. Wednesdays at 8:15.
Hello, people. The Cult of Contempt podcast here.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? We're more than a podcast. We're an experience.
We're a cult of contempt. We're here at Dennis Daly, Double D, in his house.
You might know him from Adventures in the Wilds because he's an outdoorsman, a scientist, and a teacher, and he's got enviable facial hair.
Plus, he's been the silent bomb to my J since 1997.
Are you proud of that?
It's the number one on my resume.
That's
really is. So anyway, yeah, really quick. So Dennis is like my head writer in my side project podcast, Twisted Realm.
Nice.
And now that he's not teaching as much, we're going to buckle down and start coming. We have pretty much the pilot is written, but
awesome.
Nothing else. I want to try to put together like 7 episodes, then have some of my professional friends scrutinize them, and then.
What is this? What is the theme of it, or what is the?
It's like Robot Chicken meets The Twilight Zone. And meets The Shadow from the 20s radio play. It's going to be all open.
Who knows?
Stuff. Yeah.
What evil lurks in the hearts of men.
It's going to be radio plays with sound effects and voices, but it's going to make pop culture references. I'm going to be swearing. I just think that there might be a need for that, and there's not many of them. For some like dramatization stuff, because everybody's sick of serial killers and TED Talk.
So is this more like Black Mirror or Hitchcockian, or is this more like comedic, or is it kind of both?
It's definitely it's yeah.
Sketch comedy.
It's sketch
kind
comedy
of the young ones
with a twist.
With you wanted a local band in the middle. Kind of the young ones would throw in like, we're gonna do something zany. Here's Motorhead.
It's gonna be all the same ethos of this show, where it's just basically gonna be the opens, but you know.
Carried on.
Without the out and about, of course, but you know, no, but like for one example, we have a skit that we're working on called "Fly on the Wall." Each episode will have a fly on the wall. The first one's going to be this fly traveling around Comic-Con and the different weird shit you would hear during a Comic-Con.
Nice.
And stuff like that. So it's going to be pop culture centric, but I do want to tie in the local bands and like use their music. And so anybody who does voiceover stuff, especially girls, I need as many girls as I can get my hands on.
Yeah, girls.
So do I.
Yeah.
I mean, women, ladies.
Yeah, women's, come do some voiceovers.
Yes. So Terry was dating this girl who had broadcast experience, and then they broke up, but she still wanted to have a working relationship. So I was like, all right, send me some samples. And she's like, well, I could just record it there. You're supposed to be a professional. You have no way. I was like, and then the last thing I wrote to her was, do you have any means to record yourself and send it? It would be a lot easier. I'm not driving to, well, I didn't say it, but I'm like, I'm not fucking driving to Philly. You know, so that's, there's so many other girl voices locally that I could use, but I just wanted to have somebody with a little experience.
I think I could do a good girl's voice. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, how realistic are you thinking? Because we could all do girl voices.
I
mean, the kids in the hall did all the
I know. That was the first thing that I came to mind. Who did you guys think was the best girl in Kids in the Hall?
The gay guy.
I thought
is he really the only gay guy?
Dave Foley did pretty good.
Because he would do like an older middle-aged lady. Really well.
Yeah, Dave Foley. Yeah, that's true too.
That's true. Yeah.
Dave, and then then Bruce.
They all did women pretty well.
Somebody did. Who did the vapid whore that thanked Hitler at an award ceremony? That was.
I think that was.
That's his name. Anyway, I love that fucking shit. I thought Kids in the Hall might be before your time, but
no, I remember Kids in the Hall. Like, I don't know if I watched it when it was on, but I also remember Second City Television, and I definitely didn't watch that when it was on, but I caught it. Yeah. Like, I knew about Count Floyd. Remember Count Floyd? It was Joe Flaherty.
Like, yeah.
He was like the fucking
Floyd.
No, Count Floyd. Yeah, because he was the guy from SCTV. He'd like a really bad Dracula that would do.
Yeah, he was horrible.
Yeah.
He did that, but he did this fucking, when I was a kid, this like fire safety video with it's like with Count Floyd, and he's like, oh, Count Chocula, I don't like it. Like, he didn't like Count Chocula because he was like a fellow vampire. It was a competition with him. But like, I don't know, I knew about Count Floyd before I saw that in school. And like, I'm like, oh, I know this character. Everyone else is like sitting there, what the fuck is this?
Freaks and Geeks.
Freaks and Geeks,
Oh, wow,
yeah.
that was a great show. And short-lived.
He was the guy in Happy Gilmore that's like, you're never gonna make this pop. Yeah, jackass.
Yeah, that's right. He was great in that.
Was that a... Yeah, that was SCTV. That's right.
Joe Flaherty. Flaherty.
Yeah, SCTV had some. Yeah, they had some good like John Candy, Eugene Levy.
Is Saturday Night Live good anymore?
They say it's coming back.
I watch The Open every now and then, and I don't know. I haven't watched a whole episode in a while.
I'll tell you a funny thing about Scott Thompson. I heard him on the WTF podcast, and he said that he had a huge comeback show, but it just so happened the opening night was on 9/11, and it ruined his comeback career.
I believe it.
Can you believe that?
Scott Thompson was
like,
a lot of people, there's a lot of bands that kind of got fucked by just their shit, like their album. There's a band, they were like a kind of like a power pop band.
Oh yeah.
It'll come to me. Flicker Stick.
Oh yeah, I've
They
heard of that.
broke around that time, and it was like they had like all their big like shows in like New York, and then 9/11 happened, and then it was like they just went nowhere. Like maybe they would have gone somewhere, maybe they wouldn't have, but like I don't know. Or people say too like, oh yeah, that happened, and then like 5 years later, where they could have been 5 years ago, like they would have been famous, but then 9/11 happened.
I had a film in a film festival about 3 days before 9/11. The festival got completely canceled.
See,
it was a shitty film.
You would have been Spielberg and not been for 9/11. You should hate those terrorists that much more.
I hated him because Billy Joel stopped writing songs after 9/11. It was very sad. I wanted the catalog to expand.
Wow.
He really stopped writing songs after 9/11?
I think he did, yeah. He's basically...
I don't remember the last time I've heard a new Billy Joel song that I never heard before.
He was on Stern, I think. He said he just doesn't have anything left in the tank. Bon Jovi thrived because they had that live my life every day. Some bands thrived with it. Country thrived with it because they cashed in on America.
Yeah.
Except the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah, I guess they never really truly recovered, huh?
No, whatever happened to them?
No idea.
Then, like, I don't know, but, like, you know, shortly after, you know, Billy Joe Armstrong's wearing a fucking Bush mask on Letterman with a sign that says idiot. And they got away with that.
Yeah, they will.
But, I don't know. I thought the Dixie Chicks thing was really fucking stupid. And then, like, irrelevant band, because I was in the news at the time. So, like, the Oak Ridge Boys, who were completely fucking irrelevant and terrible.
I never even heard of them, so.
Elvira. You never heard Elvira? Oh my god.
Yeah, not so much.
The harmonies are... They can harmonize, but the songs suck. But there's this deep voice guy who I always wanted to emulate, and he would be like, wow. Anyway, so like I spent like a whole afternoon like cutting clips of their stuff because they were taking Dixie Chick tickets, and then letting people in to see their terrible concert.
Wow.
And then Hannity started the Freedom concerts, and everything was called Freedom.
Yeah,
like,
Freedom fries, remember those? They were better than French fries because they weren't French.
French fries aren't French anyway, they're Belgian.
Fuck them.
Fuck them all. Literally.
Why do they call them French fries, though?
Because we're stupid Americans. There's also French-speaking Belgians, so maybe it was in the southern part of the country that they were invented. But the Flemish say that they invented them and they're Dutch-speaking. And I'm also very upset with you, James Cook, because I'm a writer and you didn't ask me in on this twisted deal.
You once told me in a conversation that you don't write other people's characters, so I didn't.
I didn't mean it like that.
That's what you said.
God damn it, me and my
So
smart
I'll
mouth.
Bill's out because I'm gonna create the characters. I mean, this is, but
you can
Was I
like
high
Jim
on
to
this?
say the worst things ever. What is wrong with you?
You definitely gotta let me in on this.
all right.
You can. He's now your puppet.
Ooh, I like that.
When you're the writer, you pull the strings.
I am the mastermind.
Pull the strings.
I'm the string puller.
Like Bela Lugosi. You ever see Ed Wood?
Oh,
pull the strings.
I snagged that line for a song that went nowhere.
Karlov?
Yeah.
Boris Karloff is a piece of shit. He's not worthy to smell my shit.
The scene in that movie where he's all heroined out and he can't do the TV show.
Oh yeah.
It's the saddest
where the
fucking
guy's
thing.
improvising with him. I thought he was just the best comic ever. He was just fucking with this guy. I didn't realize he was a heroin addict till I was much older. That movie came out when I was a child.
Oh wow.
I was a mere 9 years old.
I actually have a cousin who catered that movie.
Ed Wood?
Yeah. And surprise, surprise, he's like, Bill Murray would eat with the crew, would always be the last in line for food, and would just like hang out.
I love Bill
with the
Murray.
crew.
God bless Bill Murray.
And he didn't even have that big of a part in that.
I hope he gets sainted someday. Yeah, but he has the best. He has the best line in that movie.
What about the glitter, right?
No, he goes. The guy's like, suck your blood. He's like got the cape and shit. And Bill Murray looks at him and he goes like, now let's hear you call Boris Karloff a cocksucker. And they're sitting in a church.
When they were trying to have the stand-in to fill in for Bella.
Yeah,
right?
Bella goes to stand-in. Yeah, he's like talking like, I'll suck your blood. Oh, it's fucking great. That whole Ed Wood's career, it just in general, I think is genius. Like,
have you seen his porn? Like he went into porn.
Yeah, I watched that shit when I was like in high school. I haven't watched it.
I never really pursued it.
Orgy of the Dead or something like that.
Oh, so it definitely had a horror theme. Like,
oh my god,
it's porn or just cheap?
No, it's like girls dancing. It's not like hardcore. Nobody's getting penetrated
so
or
like
anything.
stag film.
Yeah, it's a stag film.
Okay. Ugh.
But yeah, it's like
back in the day, a bunch of guys getting together in a sweaty room, smoking cigars and drinking booze, and just watching girls with their titties out dance, and that was like a big deal.
Yeah, and they're
just weird.
It's
man.
just like a girl like climbs out of the grave and like dances around, and then other like a vampire comes.
Why
and
did they categorize it as pornography? I guess they just
because it's really its purpose is really just to like make people feel like, oh wow, naked girls. There's no fucking artistic value to it.
That was also around the time those, faster Pussycat Kill kind of B movies.
Yeah, but those are at least like you look at like the rape and revenge movies, and yeah, that's like a whole crazy subgenre. But there's shit that people did in those movies, the directors and cinematographers and stuff, that other people watched and like ripped off like a million years later. I mean, like Quentin Tarantino, and like that shit is huge. Like the girl with the fucking eye patch in Kill Bill was stolen from Thriller, a cruel motion picture, and that's like this movie. Like this girl gets kidnapped and raped and all this crazy shit.
That raises a great question about art. Like, where is the line between homage and ripoff? Where's the line?
There is no line.
There's no line. So an homage is a ripoff.
No, I would say an homage should just like at least be kind of like 25 or 50% yours. You need to have some sort of twist, or why am I watching this? You know what I'm saying?
I think the homage is like this sort of wink, wink. I'm referencing. It's supposed to be kind of out there, like nudge, nudge. I'm referencing this thing from 20 years ago. Whereas a ripoff, you're like, no, this is my original idea.
Yeah. If Kill Bill was a dude, an Asian dude dressed as Bruce Lee, doing all the shit that the bride does, that wouldn't be his original idea.
Right.
But because he made it Uma Thurman, and
but put her in Bruce Lee's outfit.
And whatever that dude from the Wu-Tang Clan who did the soundtrack, the score of that.
But that's the thing. Fantastic. That's what the RZA like fucking listens to is old fucking
Kung Fu scores
and Western scores and shit like that. Like That's the stuff that the Wu-Tang Clan made their fucking beats to.
Yeah.
That's the stuff he cut up because it's like so far out there that who the fuck is ever gonna come around to copyright police and be like, oh, this is from Fist of the White Lotus. Like, you know, you can't use this, guys. You know, it's like and that's how they got around sampling, just by sampling shit so obscure and that nobody's ever gonna pick up on it. But they threw in like the film, you know, quotes and everything too. Like there's always all kinds of weird shit in there, but
yeah, it's great.
I don't know, that's like the perfect example, I think, is like Kill Bill. Like, yeah. There's so much stuff from all different movies. They call her One Eye or Thriller, like the girl with the eye patch.
Yeah.
Like fucking David Carradine is like an evil version of what he was in Kung Fu, I feel like, kind of. And there's
a Western thing there.
There's the whole samurai thing with like Hanzo Hattori, and like they brought in Sonny Chiba, who's like the fucking Street Fighter. He's in some of the greatest, like...
Oh yeah, they show Sonny Chiba movies in True Romance.
In the first fucking Street Fighter movie, he rips a dude's fucking dick off. He just like squeezes a guy, like balls like burst out his fist, and rips the guy's fucking dick off. It was a rated X because of that, and I bought it because I'm like, this is the fucking greatest thing I will have ever seen. Sonny Chiba in Street Fighter.
Awesome.
Wow. This opens up a lot of doors. All right.
I would say that, you know, if you're doing an homage, as a person that knows the original work, you also feel a little bit smug. Whereas if something's ripped off, you feel kind of cheated. I think that's another way you can kind of tell.
Well, like, I don't know. Sometimes the same joke gets told from show to show.
Right.
But, you know, in a different way. I don't know. Like, there's only so many jokes. Like, there's only so many notes.
I don't know. I
say, like, are you talking show to show, like, within the same series, or, like, a different series referencing?
Like, I don't know. Like, there's similar... first thing that comes to mind is, like... Because I guess it's granted, but, like, there's certain jokes that were done in Futurama that The Simpsons did. And there are certain jokes that shows do that The Simpsons wind up did... You know,
there's also only like 7 fucking plots you can ever make in anything.
Yeah.
So 14, I think, master plots.
Yeah, like how many different things can you make funny? Like, there's really, I feel like only like 6 ways to tell a joke, and I can't explain what each of the 6 ways is. But most jokes or most references.
Well, there's sarcasm. Like, there's parrot.
Yeah.
We went over this in a lit class.
There's puns. There's parody.
Yeah.
But you can break it down and be like, all right, we need the setup, and then the's got to be a twist, and you can pretty much break down any joke to the model.
But yeah,
so at some point, you can only do that.
But with Twisted Realm, all of the skits are gonna weave together through sound effects, and it's gonna be like almost seamless. Like, and it's what I'd like to do is like kind of my homage to Mr. Show is where it begins is where it ends. Would be kind of cool if we could work that out. If not, I don't know.
In the end, nothing ends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know who said that?
Who said that?
I think Dr. Manhattan said that.
Nice.
Dr. Manhattan.
Yes.
Dr. Manhattan.
That was the best use of CGI in a film. Dr. Manhattan's penis. What were you gonna say?
You know, there's like if you're an artist, right, and you only work in like black and white, like there's like a million spaces between 0 and 1, even though you're originally. So I feel like even though there is that rigid structure, there's still so many different things that you can bring in there.
Some artists actually limit themselves. Like Jack White uses particular old school equipment to make all those records because he wants to make it harder for himself.
Right, and that makes you more creative.
I guess.
Because you have to problem solve. And then you come up with an original way to do it, and that makes it creative.
If I sit down with a guitar and a tape recorder and I record 5 songs, and then I sit and I play drums and all the other instruments and record that song, like take an hour for each one, you'll get 2 vastly different results because one of them will have taken 12 minutes and the other one will have taken 5 hours.
Yeah.
You know, like back in the day, there was like just a place you could go in and record a record. Yeah. Like, you just go in and play the songs, and like they still find the acetates of like Robert Zimmerman went in one day and recorded a demo of this song. He went in and played it 10 times because they can only do one at a time. So you just play the song 10 times, then have 10 records and give them out to 10 people.
Third Man Records has one of those booths.
I know.
I gotta get to Nashville.
That's awesome.
But they still find these acetates from the Velvet Underground doing that, from fucking Bob Dylan, and it comes out in the bootleg series.
But how do you authenticate? Like, this is definitely Lou Reed on it. I mean, are they labeled?
Yeah, like, all right, my friend was telling me he goes to this record store, and this guy went to an estate sale, bought all the shit. Every record they had. Took it home, was looking through, found a Bob Dylan, Robert Zimmerman, like, acetate record from one of those places that just records, or a late record maybe, rather. And he called up the record label and said, I got this thing. Is there any way to authenticate it? They authenticated it with him. Yeah, it's legitimate, it's him, whatever. Put it on one of the bootleg series.
I wonder if they use like an algorithm these days to authenticate, or like.
Holy shit.
Well, no, it's probably obvious. If you could look at something and go, yeah, that's definitely from, 1960.
Sure.
There's not many places that make late records, and if they do, they probably look different than they did 50, 60 years ago. Like the voice, the song, you hear something 60s Dylan, like everybody knows 60s Dylan. Like he sounded a certain way. I can't imagine there's too much.
I love it though.
Oh, the times they are
changing. I did Subterranean Homesick Blues once.
That's a great song.
The lyrics are very clever.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, what's weird is one day I was drinking with some friends, and they had me name as many Billy Ocean songs as I could name, and I think I got to 8. And then they had me name Bob Dylan songs.
Who the fuck is Billy Ocean?
Out of my dreams, get in my car. Hey, you! I'm just kidding.
Get out.
I was one of our finest singers from the islands. No, but then, like, I was asked to name 5 Bob Dylan songs, and I actually couldn't name any. I could just, like, hum melodies, but, like, a lot of, beyond, Subterranean Homesick Blues, like a Rolling Stone and Times Are Changing and Blowing in the Wind. I don't know. After that, I don't know. Did I say like a Rolling Stone?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I just cashed that on 5. I don't know. And then I heard he had like a Catholic period where he went nuts and the music was bad.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
You should just get yours over with.
What, go Catholic?
Yeah, you should.
I don't know. Somebody's mom was asking me about my faith.
Well, because look at who you hang out with.
Yeah, really.
The
devils.
What was your answer? What is your faith?
I don't know. I actually have to talk about it with your mom.
Was it your mom?
Yeah, my mom.
She was a spring.
All right.
That was your mom. That poor old lady that was hanging out.
Like, all you weird kids.
I was saying, well, no. Phil was talking to the stormtrooper.
Yes.
And then I was saying things
that was
like, I bet Phil's saying to him, like, could you leave the costume on during coitus? just like, I was saying shit. Oh, yeah, I bet those handcuffs would feel really good. Let me put them on.
This is not my type.
I was just saying horrible shit.
He's everybody's type.
And then I kept forgetting that she was sitting there. I'm like, God damn it, I said something horrible again.
Yeah, his mom is... She's, yeah.
Yeah, she seemed like she could hang.
She's heard it all by now. What are there, 3 boys?
I tell you, like his mom was great. She would like have like her when I was selling the wine. It was kind of like Tupperware, but I was selling wine and not Tupperware, so I'd have little parties with the ladies. And those church ladies, like, okay, so there's this device that you put in a white bottle of wine. You put it in the freezer. It looks like a goddamn dildo. I've been to like rich people's houses and poor people's houses. Nobody said anything. I hang out with a bunch of church ladies, and as soon as I said, "This is the Arctic Pole," they all just busted out laughing. And they were hitting the wine hard, and a couple of them. I mean, I don't know. I'm making it sound more raucous than it was, but there was a few of your mom's friends were pretty crazy.
Well, when I was in the religious music industry,
I
got to open for Vince Martell of Vanilla Fudge.
Ooh.
And Rick Derringer. Yeah, and Rick Derringer, dude. I got to open for fucking Rick Derringer. Okay, and he played Hulk Hogan's theme music.
Nice.
And then I prayed with everyone.
Undead Paul.
I'm not gonna do the religious thing, man. You know, I did CCD as a kid.
No, you have to. You have to get into the music of it. Like that
music.
South Park episode.
Yeah, just change all the lyrics.
Yeah, that's what I did. I wrote a song about weed, and then I changed 2 lines, and I made it called Righteous Light.
Oh, jeez.
So you can fake it just long enough to pump out Christian rock music?
No, it was just...
I really hope I release a record and it goes myrrh or frankincense.
Yeah, you want it to go fucking frankincense.
Your initials are JC.
Yeah.
Doesn't that count? Isn't that
The new JC.
whale vomit?
I'm not doing it, man. I can't.
Come on, dude. Push out a beard and become our Christ. Become our Christ.
You guys
figure.
don't. I don't know. When I do anything, I do it full on. You guys do not want me to become religious. You do not want that. Nobody wants any of that. The church doesn't want that.
I didn't say what religion.
Yeah.
You gotta pick a crazy one. Well,
All
okay,
right.
that's
If I had to pick one, I'd pick Episcopalian because it's Catholic light and I won't have to learn too many of the prayers. And they're progressive. They, my niece was baptized by a gay pastor.
Right? Buddhism, man.
You don't have to do a Christian one.
Buddhism just leads to weirdos just having sex with each other.
Wait, what?
We hate that.
Yeah, what a horrible thing.
Somebody always walks out of bed with feelings.
We got the environment man here.
So
yeah. So, all right.
So your mom's really religious, and are you religious?
Yeah.
So how's that going? This is not easy.
No, she's religious, but like she wasn't raised Catholic, and she married my dad. She was active in the Catholic Church, and all of a sudden, like they had the priest over, and they'd been active in the church for several years, and they had him over for dinner, and she's like, oh, "Yeah, I was never confirmed, but she was raised Protestant," and he just kind of like, "Oh," and he kind of did wrote something in the books, and was like, "You're good." So she kind of got grandfathered in, like after like being in the choir and singing for the church and like, having at that point I think 2 kids who were baptized. It's like, wait, you're not Catholic. We got to just wrote her name.
If your heart is there, though, that's the way it should be.
She never pushes anything.
No, she's not.
And
That's good.
She's funny as hell.
That's great.
Yeah, she didn't smack me.
No, but everybody came up to me like, hey, is it cool that I, light a bone here because there's like an old lady over there, and I'm like, she's not gonna narc you if that you were worried about. But I don't know. So you were saying before that there's only so many stories that you can tell. One of those stories is the hero's journey, and in the hero's journey, the mentor always dies. There was an internet sensation lately of the Star Wars retelling of the awful lightsaber battle between Darth Vader and Ben Kenobi. The reimagining.
Oh, the reimagining is awful, or the original?
The original was awful. The reimagining I thought was fantastic. What do you
I
think?
watched them both, and I went back and made a point to watch the original, like the 2, 3.
The lightsaber cuts out halfway through. Like,
come on, 77.
I'm just saying.
Dude, Alec Guinness is like fucking 80 fucking years old doing this movie. First of all, okay?
Some slack.
Yeah, think about that.
I thought you guys all were in the bag for the new one. Like, you thought it was great.
I think it was bad.
But I think about this too. What I liked about the new lightsaber scene was that it matched the intensity of the ones. If the prequels, I had seen them before that, I would be disappointed by what happens in Star Wars. But that's not the way they came out. Like, you had 4, 5, 6 first, always. And when they first made Star Wars, they didn't know if they're going to make more of them or what, and there wasn't a standard like that. Like, there was no fight scene like that in 1977. So it poses the interesting question of, like, if they did it, would people think it was cool? I think the purists would fucking hate it. But I respect what they did. I think that's fucking... The choreography was like, that's spot on. Like, it's exactly like the prequels.
I mean, incorporating, the levitating of the items, and then, one getting smashed and setting on fire, and then Vader's arms on fire for like 3 seconds, which I thought was badass.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
But you would have never seen it like that in nothing was like that in 77, and they didn't put that much thought into any part of the 70s.
The Jedi also weren't like as defined. They were like, what were they? I don't know. They're space ninjas with laser swords.
Yeah.
But then it came out like 10 years later. Oh, they can do shit. And now you got Jedi doing flips and pushing each other and throwing things like
flying around.
That wasn't really a
It was
thing.
my
It was in
understanding-
Jedi, but not in the first movie. Yeah, in Jedi like Vader's
Lucas
throwing
based
shit
the
at him.
Jedi on a movie called The Seventh Samurai.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, there's this drunken guy who carries a giant sword. I need to see it again. I saw it a long time ago.
And that
Akira
also-
Kurosawa.
Oh.
Seven Samurai. It was remade as the Magnificent Seven in America.
That's what I was gonna say.
And then there was Yojimbo, which was, I believe, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Like, they were, all those Western movies were ripped
Based
off
on-
from samurai fucking movies in Japan.
The Code, The Danger.
Even Star Wars is,
Lucas.
what did I say I said last week, I think, Lost Fortress was the name of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the two servants telling the story, which is 3PO and R2-D2. Like, there's so much of that just...
Yeah, Cantina Scene was taken out of Casablanca. There's like a shot-for-shot airplane movie, like a World War II fighter jet movie that's pretty close to the trenches with the X-Wings.
Yeah.
I think there was a video making the rounds where there was like a shot-for-shot.
So here's the question: is that homage or ripoff?
I think it's homage because he made everything outer space.
I think just like as a writer, you want to write a scene, so you look at a bunch of other people who have done a similar scene, and you get an idea of what you want. You know
But
what
once
I mean?
your property becomes a cash cow, you sometimes have to revision and
Right.
update. And I mean, the special editions, I look back on them, and a lot of it was an abomination.
Look, if they did, I'll tell you what, I would watch the trilogy again if they did it with the fucking psychosis of what that scene was. Like the 21st century fucking rage that they put into that lightsaber battle. If they did that for the trilogy, I would watch it. But it's like, I would know that's never what it was. That wasn't what it was envisioned as.
So, like, when art is finished, is it...
Art
should it
is
be
never
finished?
finished. It's abandoned. That's what Leonardo da Vinci says.
Yeah, that's true.
So Lucas was right to go back and fix.
Yeah, well,
Well, I mean, there is no right and wrong here, but he got a lot of shit for it. People were
Touching up the effects is one thing. If
Yes.
you watch like
the matte lines out were perfect.
I got this '83 VHS of Empire versus the new ones where they're touched up. That's fine, but when you start adding shit in, and like
Well,
that,
you can the DVDs that I have, you can watch the original.
yeah, me too.
reaction.
Got that. Okay.
And so you can watch Hanshin first. He finally just gave in and said, "Shut up,
Shut up.
Here, buy another one."
Okay,
So
so
I'm like, okay, I'll buy it, and as long as I get home shooting first.
you remember he added, say, all right, that scene with the stormtroopers riding those big lizards. Was that a necessary addition?
It was gratuitous, but it didn't subtract.
He
it was
wanted
just like,
it there originally. He said supposedly too. So it's like,
that's the kind of thing, like, that stuff, it's like, okay, that's just details. And there's another thing where, like, there's more X-Wings. Like, it's just a couple extra seconds of, like, X-Wings. Or when Han runs into the hangar bay, and instead of, like, 8 stormtroopers, there's 30 stormtroopers.
Okay, now
it's
what
like,
about the
those
that
little
was
things,
funny. That
they
was
don't really
funny.
change the story, it's just little things. Those didn't.
Well, all right, there were a couple big. All right,
does the music number does that change the story for you?
The story just awful.
No, it's fucking. You didn't want a music number in the first place,
Yeah.
but it was fine, and you've accepted it for 20 years, and then they change it to that shit.
I think the original song that Saisudo sings.
that's right. Fuck yes.
The original song that Saisudo sings, I think, was written by Michael Jackson. There was like this behind-the-scenes thing, and when you hear the recording in English of the song, it sounds like fucking Michael Jackson.
What was it? Was it Captain EO? They just put Captain
they
EO
were
in
friends.
Godspell.
And they changed the one in return too, right? Don't the Ewoks play a whole different
song, yeah.
Oh my
And
god!
but they include like
Talk about a song I didn't like
More
the first time.
Ewoks. It didn't need more Ewok. It had enough Ewok.
Right?
I wish they would have made them all Wookiees. That would have been so much
Just little
better.
Wookiees this tall.
No, giant fucking angry Wookiees. I don't care if they have to reshoot half of that movie. I would watch that.
I was too. over and over again.
That was why they made him Ewoks, because I don't think they could find that many giant fucking people to be Wookiees, but...
It's Hollywood. You can find them.
We could find a million fucking midgets.
There's guys that are worse.
Half the Wizard of Oz crew is still alive. Calling the Wonkas.
Get in that fuzzy bear costume and get your ass out there.
No, I don't know. I mean, like, even Jabba being added to Star Wars was like...
That was pointless. He looked like a baby... There's no consistency to the way he looks.
He looked like a fucking turd with eyes.
Yeah, so like you see him in fucking Phantom Menace for like 10 seconds, and he's huge, and then you see him in, episode 4, and he's like green and little.
Well, how much time between Star Wars and Jedi is there? Like a year and a half? 2 years? Like he goes from walking around
where they're in the pod race. He's as big as he is in...
He lost some weight, he got sick, and then he gained it back for the last movie.
Like, is it explained, like, do they
he was eating too many of the fries.
And even Han Solo, like, stepping on his tail is, like, so bad, because, like, where he walks,
it looks like...
It's like he's walking, like, right behind him. So he would be stepping on a tail that's, like, fucking, like, 5 feet high, like, ugh! But instead he just like steps on it, like walks over, like it's so bad.
It looks like they literally made the film just jump.
Yeah, but they did try to fix. They did actually like take. All right, so that first time we saw him in Star Wars in the special edition, on the DVDs, they've actually gone and touched up how Jabba looks to try and make him look better. He still looks like shit.
Yeah. Was it originally just a guy, like back in 77?
It was a fat guy.
It was a fat guy.
Yeah,
it was
in a fuzzy suit.
Who's coming to like get the money from
They
Solo.
had no idea.
And that's because it was a boring scene.
In the Marvel comics, he he looked even different.
But that harkens back to what I said at the beginning about why that lightsaber battle is what it is. Because they were just working with what they had, and when what they had to shoot that scene, they didn't have all the, 2 movies worth of success to go, yeah, we want a big fucking rubber guy, somebody build this monstrosity. So they just had a fat guy fucking walking around talking shit to Han Solo. This is crap. They cut it. Then all of a sudden, like, the 1990s hit, and they can CGI in Jabba the Hutt. Oh, this is gold. We got unused Harrison Ford shit. Like, we gotta put this in the movie, no matter what. Like, I don't care how it looks.
Yeah, because, Harrison Ford can't stop it. I mean, he already got paid for it.
Yeah, he got straight paid.
Yeah, but...
I don't know. I don't even like the new... Are you on board with the new Star Wars movies?
I like some of them.
Rogue One?
Rogue One's the best.
Yeah.
What's it? Force Awakens is good. Last Jedi is good.
I did not hate Last Jedi as much as everybody else.
It's the weakest of the new ones.
Yeah, it could have been trimmed down about 40 minutes. Like the whole going to the gambling city, like
it's a little excessive.
And the whole Fenster with the that doofus.
Doofus.
What's his name? He was the dog boy, Big Top Pee-wee.
Oh God, really?
Yeah, that was his first role. What was his name?
Benicio del Toro?
Yeah, Benicio del Toro.
And
that's right.
I hated Unusual Suspects because I couldn't understand a word he fucking said, but I think that was the point.
That's a great
it annoyed
movie,
me. I flip it.
He's a great actor overall.
I mean, he's great. I don't understand him. I mean, I'd hate to be his personal assistant.
I would tell you about it. Off film, he's probably like, I'd like a hamburger.
Yeah.
It's like that skit they used to do. I forgot if it was on Man TV. Like Ozzy ordering food and he can't. Give me that. Sir, we can't hear you. Give me a hamburger! Like they just do. He goes full Ozzy singing.
I like your Ozzy. That's great.
Generals gathering in the masses.
Nice.
They don't like the neighbors. Probably don't like that.
Yeah.
I thought the latest one, I thought they were going to do more with Luke. I don't know, he's just kind of like a crazy guy on an island. Gave her a little advice, kind of saved them at the end, but not really, and that was it. Like, I don't know, I was expecting some big, like, I don't know, Jedi fucking training and like fucking hard shit and like Luke went through when he went to the fucking,
It's the same thing. What did he do? He ran around on Dagobah for a couple weeks. Like it was.
I was into that shit when he was hanging out with Yoda and levitating the rocks.
But he went from like,
kid, you know?
Luke really. Let's see. Ben taught him for like a couple of weeks on the trip to the Death Star, then died.
Yeah, that's true.
And then Yoda taught for him for a couple of weeks, and all of a sudden he's a Jedi Master. So
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, by the third one, he's. I mean, that sequence where Han's about to be thrown into the Sarlacc, like I thought that was the greatest. Yeah. That's why I always loved Jedi, because I loved the first half.
But he wasn't trained right.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
But I think what the movie was trying to address was Luke had nearly gone to the dark side by wanting to kill Kylo. And that's a really hard thing to live with for a Jedi, I assume. So he went for Sanctuary and disappeared.
So what's the theory for the new movie?
I heard
the Emperor's laugh, and I got hard.
Right?
Yeah, I heard
because I know that guy is about the age he should be now to be playing that role.
Doesn't need any makeup.
Yeah,
He's like walks out of bed.
They literally, like, I remember him in the prequels. I'm like, oh my god, they actually got the guy. Like, all right, this is the best part. Like, he's gonna do some fucked up shit. But he still looks, he was like still younger in his 60s in the prequel trilogy. Now he's like 80 something.
Wow. Wait, was it the same guy who was from Jedi 83?
Fuck yeah.
And then he played the same part.
Yep.
In 1, 2, and 3.
As the same guy. Man, yeah.
I always thought they recast it.
They changed. What does he show up in Star Wars? Like
the first one.
As like but in the original like VHS tape of it, he's like this monkey.
It was Empire.
Empire, yeah. He's like this. They got like monkey eyes and like a hood and like made this weird.
Yeah, actually see him because he's the.
He's the hologram.
Yeah.
He could be turned.
But when they actually cast him, they cast that guy and they just put all those prosthetics on him. And then by the time they actually came around to making the prequels, he was like the age of what that guy probably would have been. So he played himself as like a human before he turned completely, to the monster.
Yeah.
I love the Emperor. That's my favorite character in Star Wars.
Why is that not surprised?
This.
Take your weapon, strike it down with all your hatred.
Yeah, he's the best.
Your fate and your friends is yours.
Oh, I gotta do things with the Emperor.
Yeah.
You're good. That's good.
Dude, you should try and sell cars as the Emperor.
Yeah.
Do you want a deal on a Pontiac? They don't make them anymore, but I can get you this one cheap.
That's terrible.
No, I'm lighting your face off.
No, I will not throw in free oil changes.
I don't know.
When he's fighting Samuel L. Jackson, like that is some bad acting. Like how did Lucas just let that go? And I think
because Lucas sucks.
I think the reason is the actors needed the environment, and I think a lot of the shit was shot.
Oh, you don't think it's easy to react to a green screen? Yeah, this is all lava. It's gonna kill you. Do the scene.
Yeah.
Action.
If you're, that's where my improv skills come in handy. My year as a apprentice at Second City is gonna really pay out.
Yeah, you're jumping off of this land speeder, and you're 9,000 feet in the air, and you're gonna have this whole scene. Yeah, just jump down. It's like.
It's terrible. I heard I think it was Jurassic Park 2, at one point Spielberg was physically taking cutouts of dinosaurs and chasing the actors with them to get them into
at least there's something to react to. I mean, I get that, but
I mean, it used to take them weeks and a lot of man hours, and I'm sure union money to build. I mean, I remember seeing the footage of them building the fucking sail barge. They built it from scratch, and they had that. They took the pictures each day and they did the time-lapse thing.
Yeah.
And it's pretty immense. So I imagine, now that you have the technology, you don't really need to
when
do
you
that.
have the technology to fake it, you should only fake it when you absolutely have to.
So you still think you should spend the money on...
There's no reason why they shouldn't have had sets for some of this shit that they see, just green screened in and fucking...
I was thinking that watching back to the lightsaber scene. Well, back to the lightsaber scene that we started this. Since I watched both of them, when they're walking through the Death Star and there's those hallways, those cool iconic Death Star hallways.
Yeah.
That shit would totally be green screen now. Like, I watched until Aaron's like, "Why are we watching this?" I was watching some like episode 2. It was the day after Spring Fling, so TNT or somebody was playing all the Star Wars movies.
Oh, okay.
And we're watching it, and like anytime they're in the Jedi temple or anytime they're anywhere, like all of it is green screen. Whereas back then it's like, no, they're walking through, you can hear like clink, clink, clink as they're walking on those panels, and there's those cool sci-fi looking panels on the walls, and there's a ceiling. And it's like, there was probably like 2 hallways that they just shot 17 times from different angles.
Exactly.
Makes it look like a whole building.
Yeah.
It's like, you just gotta be creative with your directing. But like, it was real. You were interacting with an
But you know what?
environment.
Those guys were walking through that hallway feeling like this is some badass fucking hallway. Like, yeah, there's a bunch of assholes with cameras down there, but like, this is fucking cool. Like, we're these soldiers, you know? Like, it brings the actors more into it. Yeah, why didn't they have a Jedi temple? Could they not have fucking built that?
Just a couple hallways,
It was
some
movie.
archways.
How much money they spent on this fucking movie that they couldn't build a set? You know, like. What were they building?
Is it going to cost you more to get a college-educated guy, you know, using an Avid to create the set, or is it going to cost you more to, you know, pay a bunch of union?
What does it matter the cost when it's fucking Star Wars?
Yeah.
Then they should just do it right. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like they're making the first one. They're making the 9th fucking one.
It's just that
Or
it's
the
still
6th
the
one.
business, and the uppers are going to look at it like as a cost analysis.
The upper is the guy that fucking made the series.
Yeah.
He's the boss. He's the one that's saying, yeah, let's green screen all of this. Which is why he's half a genius and half an asshole, George Lucas. Because he's half on the right page. Like, I loved when he upped the explosions. I love some of the shit that they changed or added or improved in the OG. The lightsabers look better in the special edition and shit like that.
They don't cut out, yeah.
But like, the fucking dumb change. Oh yeah, we gotta change the song here, and you know, or Greedo shooting first.
The
That
song
might have
needs
been
to
a
look
copyright
like,
thing. He may have lost the copyright to the old song.
No, he wanted to fucking make some new dance number where he could really show these
There
are
was a
not
music
puppets.
video attached to it too, I think. They were showing on
An
MTV.
abomination.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's horrible.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, and I remember the Phantom Menace came out, like the whatever that's on the Two Fates. Dual Fates.
Yeah, everybody used that in like their online fucking videos.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's like a cliche.
Duel of Fates.
It's like playing, you know, Good Riddance at your wedding to a montage.
I hope it's unpredictable. You think you could do Billy Joe Armstrong as Bob Dylan?
Nice.
I hope it's unpredictable.
How does it feel when you're out on your own? I don't know. I need practice. You can't put me on the
Yeah,
spot.
you're not Santos.
Yeah, I'm not. No, Santos is good on the spot.
He's coming
You do
back.
impressions?
He's, yeah.
He's the environment guy.
He's environment. All
What
right,
should we
so
do to save the environment? Tell us. We need your guidance.
guide us, Mr. Science.
We need like a
than-
And now it's
Yeah,
time
other
for
than-
Mr. Science.
Eliminate a huge swath of humanity.
Right? I agree.
I mean,
I love this guy.
realistically speaking, that'll do the trick.
I have a solution for that. The plastic in the ocean that's the size of Texas. Why don't we get some like heat on those things, melt the plastic together, and then build high-rise condos on it? No, and it's like, and there's no laws because it's in the ocean. It's international waters, so we can do whatever we want. We can have whorehouses and.
Why don't we just get an aircraft carrier and just build shanties on the top? It's like, yeah, that's like the upper village. Like, that's where the shitty people
You think the
live.
military needs the money where they'd sell us an aircraft carrier so we could have like, you know, party boat? I don't know.
Probably get an
That's
old
not saying it'd be
Soviet
rough. What?
Get an old Soviet one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surplus Soviet aircraft carrier.
We give you no profit.
I think the Soviets have.
Good deal for you.
The Russians only have one, I think, or two maybe.
They never had much of a coastline. It's
They've
all
got, like,
frozen. They didn't need many aircraft carriers.
Yeah, that was one of their biggest arguments that Europe never gave them a warm water port. That's why they.
Europe never give us warm water port. Fuck them.
We take you
They're
there.
cocksucker.
Was it true that during World War II, when the line kept moving back and forth between the Russians and the Germans, that like when the Russians would retreat, they would literally salt the earth so the Germans couldn't grow anything?
Probably.
Like, is that like true, or is that just like an urban legend?
I don't know.
Wives' tale?
The Romans did
The
it.
Roman-
Carthage.
The Romans did that as kind of like a fuck you, never mess with us again. But I wouldn't put it past the Russians. I know the Russians always basically picked up anything you could eat or use and took it to the interior of the country.
The scorcher, they burned everything.
Yeah.
They burned everything.
Yeah.
They salted the earth.
Right.
They burned everything as they retreated.
Oh, maybe as they were burning it, they said we're salting the earth. Maybe it was like kind of like a...
So when the Germans got there was nothing but a burnt out husk.
It was freezing, and you don't have enough supplies, and Russia's huge. Your supply lines are really thin, and now your guys are starving out there. Easy to pick off. But the Germans went all the way to Leningrad. I mean, they were basically on the doors of the fucking Russian government, and the Russians pushed them back.
Inconceivable! You can't win a land war in Asia! That was terrible.
You tried.
Swing and a miss.
Tried. Swing and a
They
miss.
said the Russians were more scared of Stalin than they ever were of Hitler and Blitzkrieg. Because Stalin was a fucking madman. He put 100 million people to death, and nobody ever talks about how bad
Now
he
he's
was.
celebrated.
Stalin.
Yeah.
Stalingrad, right? Isn't that like an amusement park in Russia?
If you ever can watch the Stalin movie, it's worth your while. But
Who plays Stalin?
I don't remember, but there's one scene where he's in the doctor's office, and the doctor says, "You know, Joe, you should really take care of yourself. You're not looking so good." And he thinks this is like a conspiracy of doctors. He starts putting doctors to death. And he fucking thought we were after him. I mean, the guy was totally nuts.
I've thought about putting my doctor to death.
You should. Yeah. What happened to you? You didn't have a camera down your dick this week. That's good.
No, but I'm gonna have a camera up my ass.
Are you?
June 14th.
They're just sticking them everywhere.
Yeah, they just put them everywhere. No, yeah. I went to the gastroenterologist today. I got to see a chart with all different poops on it.
Oh yeah, the poop chart.
I poop at level 6. I posted it on our page.
Good.
That's right before level 7.
33 and poops at level 6.
I talked to the GI, and then they scheduled me for a camera to the center of my ass. That'll be fun. Can't wait.
Hasn't happened yet?
No, that's gonna happen June 14th. So we'll do a countdown.
So basically, the insurance company's like, "Fuck this guy. Let's put a camera in every orifice."
No, it's not the insurance company. It's the doctors.
The doctors.
Because then they're gonna put me on drugs for my arthritis and my psoriasis, and then I will feel better. But the problem is, those drugs mess with my stomach. So I have to make sure my stomach is in good shape to handle those extra drugs.
Okay.
That I probably, I don't know. It's like, I don't want to take any. I hate fucking. I used to be on Enroll. Like, that shit is no joke. Like, I don't want to really be on any drugs, but I also don't want to constantly feel like miserable.
Yeah.
So I'm like finding this balance, you know? But I've been seeing a lot of doctors, and I like them more and more. And I like this one especially because I got to use like all my lines of like, it feels like I'm wiping a yellow marker all the time. And like I shit like an oil spill 9 times a day. Like I told the doctor that.
Well,
I was filling out the paperwork, and they're like, "Oh, what is your grandmother afflicted with?" And I'm like, "A racist psychosis." Like your mother's mother, yeah, racist psychosis.
Holy shit, that's funny.
I have my fun with them. The other doctor's office I go to, they hand me the same. Every time I go to the urologist, they hand me the same thing to fill out every single time. So like last time, they never update the information. They just give me the paperwork, like, oh yeah, you got to fill this out, and it asks me, do you smoke? Do you drink? Who's your emergency contact? What's their phone number? Every single time. So I've started to write shit like ALF, 867-5309. And just like, well, nobody ever like is like, what's ALF's last name? You know, they don't give a fuck. They don't even read it. It's great. It's good to know I'm in good hands.
it's like when you call in like to a credit card company and like you give them your credit card number, and then you finally get a person on the line, and they're like, "What's your credit card number?" I just spent 10 minutes fucking putting it in.
Yeah.
What the hell? So, like, why do they need the same information over
They
and
don't
over?
take it. They just do that to keep you busy.
No, I think at my doctor's office, their intent is like, oh yeah, we're gonna update our info, and you know, we're gonna nail this guy for smoking.
Right.
But I think the girls are just like fuck this. And they just like throw it right in the garbage when the customer hands it to them. I don't know. They've never had to call my emergency contact, I guess, so I'm lucky.
Yeah.
The day they do, boy, will they be surprised. What's the area code for ALF?
Wait, so you have no emergency contact?
Oh no, I do. They have my emergency contact on the original thing I first filled out there. It's my mother. But they hand me this thing every time. And it's gotten to the point now where I just fuck with them.
I see.
Because I had to go there so many times. They stabbed my nuts. That guy. I got problems.
No, so is that the Muppet face?
Yeah.
The bust open looked like a Muppet mouth?
Yeah.
I saw that update.
Oh, it's horrible. Dude, there's a slug of gauze stuck in there and it looked like a 45 shell. Just like, I'm like, what is this? I was talking to my doctor on the phone, like, I see this thing. Is this a bandage on top of this? Or he's like, no, that's gauze. That's in there. That's going to come out in the tub. And it came out in the tub, and then my fucking scrotum just looked like a sea anemone sitting in like the water, like just like opening and closing. I'm like, water is getting in there now. Okay, dude, it was the craziest shit ever. I don't recommend it. Unless, of course, it blows up to the size of a peach. Then I recommend it because it's painful as fuck. You gotta get that thing out of there, whatever it is.
I've never wanted to kiss my own ball sack before in my life, but I kind of do now because it's okay.
Dude, I have so much extra skin from the swelling, I probably could pull it up and like wipe my forehead.
That's handy.
Yeah, it's great. It's like having a bag. I can wrap drugs in it.
You carrying anything?
Yeah,
No, sir.
I'm holding.
You go to the grocery store, like, do you need a bag? No, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that your ball sack? Paper, plastic? No, scrotum.
If you press it on the newspaper, can you take the comics off with it?
I haven't tried.
Who would it be, Ziggy or Kathy?
Kathy. I like that one. No, it would be Blondie.
Blondie.
Where all the chicks look hot and all the dudes look fucking like dopes. Do you ever notice that with Blondie? They'll have like this.
That is a
like,
long-standing tradition
2
in
hairs,
culture.
and like goofy, like, and then all the girls are like hot, like buxom blondes, like gorgeous hair, big fucking comic book tits.
Homer Simpson.
That's what anybody who ever watches any of those things wants to see, I guess.
Family Guy.
It's like, that's one of those old comics from the newspaper now.
They want the average schmuck to think that he can, hang out with the
I always wanted to fuck the dad in Family Circus. He always had the lessons. I would have taught him a lesson. Do they even have comics in the paper?
They do. Did you ever read anything by Sean Baby, who was on crack.com?
Oh, Crack.
He used to take things and reword them, like take crazy batshit comics but make them even crazier.
Oh,
and he
that's
reworded
awesome.
a bunch of Family Circus comics, and they're some of the most ridiculous, disturbing things.
Those are fucking hilarious.
Because they're so wrong, but they're just like...
Mad Magazine used to have fun with Family Circus as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like Billy would, go through the jungle and get eaten by wolves.
That bit where he's going.
Yeah, Billy's always traveling.
There's a good thing called Garfield minus Garfield.com where it just shows John Arbuckle, like it's Garfield without any Garfield in it. And so it's like John Arbuckle like walking up to like an empty counter where Garfield would presumably be sitting and just be like, he just looks at him, you see him walk up and he's looking and then he just screams. It just seems like he's fucking completely insane. Garfield minus Garfield. Like the guy who writes Garfield like approved it and everything. He's like on board with it. He thinks it's funny. It's something he said he never really thought of. But like this guy just made this comic and it's genius.
I'll have to look.
I love that when you can repurpose any old shit and make it that much better.
Yeah.
Was any of the comic strips funny? And then of course Far Side was, but like a lot of them were really fucking bad. The comic strips. times. Like
Hagar the Horrible.
Yeah, Hagar the Horrible. BC, that was terrible.
I always remember that stupid Prince Valiant comic.
It was a serial, and like from paper to paper, it never synced up. There was a Spider-Man like that too for a while in the 60s, early 70s. Spider-Man had like a...
See, I don't remember any superheroes, but I remember like Prince Valiant. I remember Hagar the Horrible. I remember Blondie. I remember Kathy. Farside. Heathcliff.
I liked Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes is good. Calvin and Hobbes is good.
And the Far Side, I really liked.
I used to have the
Far Side came best. Yeah, the first. The one I keep looking for and I can't find it online is apparently there's one with a lot of crazy shit, and it says it was late and I was tired.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. It's like this.
It was in one
it's
of
like
the
my white whale.
Yeah, it was in one of the collections.
And I've looked through every collection that I've ever got my hands on at garage sales, and I can never find this strip.
I don't know where it is, but I've seen it. I think.
But you'd think it would be online in an image search, and I look periodically every year. Maybe I should look again. But anyway.
It was late and I was tired.
I think that's what the caption.
Well, there's this one that
Maybe I've got the caption wrong. Maybe that's why I can find it.
It's something a little more specific. It's like, it's 2 a.m. The artist was overtired at something. He like just writes second third person describing what's going on there.
Is it fucking or furniture moving? Or fighting?
I don't need to change the subject, but they have a dog, which we're not supposed to have, and I don't think they have area rugs. So I think since they have a double negative, it just like negates, like, oh yeah, they can do what they want.
So you can do all the Ozzy you want, because what are they gonna say?
Yeah, right.
Generals gathered in their masses!
Nice.
Crazy! Crazy! But that's how it goes!
I was so pissed off when I was so pissed off when I found out that Ozzy didn't write the lyrics to Crazy Train.
Ozzy didn't write the lyrics to shit.
I was really pissed off because I like that line about, learn how to love and forget all the hate. Here you have our Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, preaching peace and harmony.
Are you music like an Ozzy guy, or what's like?
I like more Sabbath, and Ozzy's okay, but I like the Sabbath stuff better.
Are you like a Dio Sabbath?
Old school. Like, so that Sabbath with Ozzy.
Oh, with Ozzy. Oh, okay.
Which, yeah, that's like, I thought, what was it, Bill Ward that wrote all the lyrics, or most of them?
Really?
Or Geezer Butler. Yeah, those guys. I always thought it was Ozzy, and then I found out years later it was them writing all the lyrics. I was like, that makes sense, because Ozzy was too fucking...
Ozzy is way less cool than he really, like...
Yeah. He's just a good frontman and singer.
A lot of people, have called him out on that. I heard I keep saying this, there's an urban legend, like, at one of the Ozfests, Maiden made an Ozzy joke, and Sharon shut the power on them in the middle of their set.
Wow.
Yeah, she fucked with them bad.
Yeah, because, like, they called them out for, like, auto-tune or whatever, or, like, pre-recorded tracks or something. I don't know what the accusation was. Is somebody being murdered? Should we call... Knock twice if you need help.
I was reading this whole thing out back in the day when Black Sabbath were touring. There was a fucking with Bill Ward or something like that. And once they set him on fire, have you guys ever heard about this?
Yeah.
They used to just like fuck with him constantly and shit like
And
that.
then they ultimately
really
screwed him with the
messed up.
reunion. They didn't want to pay him enough money, so they left him out, and they got the guy from Faith No More and drum.
No, they got the guy from Rob Zombie, I thought.
I thought it was the dude with the
John
dreads.
Tempesta.
Oh, I thought I was from Zombie.
Because he was touring with Ozzy, the guy from
Oh, I just assumed Sharon would throw in her guy.
No, I think.
But I thought I saw a picture of them. I don't know. Maybe I.
Well, John Tempesta looks like a fucking dude with weird hair too.
Yeah, maybe I just glanced at it. Yeah, maybe I just glanced at the photo and.
No, I don't think Bill Ward could
play anymore.
Play to that standard anymore. And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but.
I know Guns N' Roses screwed Izzy Stradlin at a... I mean, they wanted nothing to do with the original drummer, but Izzy Stradlin was offered money for the reunion, but,
Who was that? Steven Adler was the drummer?
Yeah. Adler's...
He played with him, a couple times.
Yeah. Adler's Appetite actually played,
Dingbats.
Dingbats, yeah.
No, but he played with Guns N' Roses like a couple of times now, Steven Adler. Like, he's jumped up... I mean, he's obviously not jumping up on stage with them like they don't know he's there, and he shows up and they let him play.
So they let him play a couple numbers? I don't remember.
Yeah, he fucking definitely played with them. I remember it was a couple of years.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The reunion was like 2 years ago. I went with the Wexlers to
We saw the Garden. We were on the Sunday night.
Did any of you guys see AC/DC when Axl Rose?
No. Nah, I saw a clip, but I wasn't impressed.
I wanted to. You know what? I would.
I don't know. Like, I'm a Bon Scott guy with the AC/DC.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's why I'd rather see Axl Rose than fucking the other dude.
I mean, Brian Johnson did something that not a lot of people can say they did. They kept the band that was previously.
Brian Johnson's fine, but if I could...
But I don't like that era of songs. And I think Thunderstrucks and Money Talks, all that era, like, I just think it's overblown crap. It's just like, you know, what was his name? Butch, who was the producer?
I don't know, man. Thunderstruck's got a great...
Yeah. I mean, I can see it in stadiums. Yeah, it's used a lot in hockey games, but I don't know. I don't know.
I think you need to write a stadium anthem to truly appreciate
a stadium anthem.
A stadium anthem.
See, I can't sing a stadium anthem. Maybe.
Megadeth did it. Into the arena.
Yeah.
Into
the Flyers, right? Yeah, my father-in-law had season tickets to the Flyers, and I guess Mustaine was a fan, and they had like a shirt with a number that said Mustaine. And my father-in-law didn't want it, so I think I sold it on eBay.
You never heard that song?
Briefly.
Dude.
Alright, so Megadeth had that. I know Motorhead, or at least Lemmy, had a wrestling song.
Time to play the game!
Yeah. And,
I love it.
The Red Wings used Kelly's song, Chelsea Dagger.
There's also a great Lemmy song where he's like, little girl sleeping in dreams of peace. Something horrible. I forget what the lyrics are, but it's like all about a girl getting molested.
Oh my god.
It's called Don't Let Daddy Kiss Me. Me and my friend we were listening to Motorhead like rocking out in his car one time, and then this song came on, and we're like, what the fuck is this? I recommend that everyone listen to Don't Let Daddy Kiss Me, because you would never imagine that Lemmy would possibly write a song that is like this.
Maybe he did it in defense for the children. He probably did
it's a great song when you're in the mindset to listen to that. But it is very jarring when you're listening to fucking 2005 Motorhead, and then, you know, you're listening to The Sword or The Killers, you know. I love Motorhead fucking pretty much until they ended. I think I got every record like when it came out.
Really?
Pretty much until about 2010. And then I kind of dropped off.
I thought they were amazing. I fucking love Motorhead, but I listened mostly to like the first 2 or 3 albums. I didn't really venture that much into like the newer stuff.
See, the newer stuff is just like nuts. Like,
yeah,
it's fucking just heavy and like, I don't know. It's no different than the older stuff.
Right. It's Motorhead.
You listen to it, and within the first you know what it is. You know who's playing bass on this, at the very least.
I love it.
And then the vocals come in. You know.
Fuck yeah, Motorhead's awesome.
But it's like I don't know. There's a couple Motorhead songs I think that are like clunkers, like Hellraiser. But then again, he wrote it for Ozzy, so Ozzy did it justice. I don't really care for the song when either of them do it.
Okay. I always liked the song "The Road Crew."
He wrote a shitload of songs for Ozzy, actually.
Really?
No shit.
He wrote I think No More Tears.
No shit.
Maybe, or
I always thought No More Tears was like an Elizabeth Warren or one of those assholes.
Actually, I could probably look that up. Wait, let me see if Siri...
There was like these...
Siri, what songs did Lemmy from Motorhead write for Ozzy Osbourne?
Fuck you, Paul.
Guys, look. I got Siri.
Paul's looking something up.
Crazy Train. Fucking Lemmy wrote Crazy Train.
No shit. Are you...
Did he write the lyrics?
I'd love to hear him sing.
Probably.
Right?
Yeah,
right.
I'm going off the rails on the crazy train.
There was this little Asian kid making the rounds on all the morning shows. He could do the Randy Rhoads solo.
Oh shit.
Like spot on. And eventually Sharon found out about it and brought him on stage at a show.
Oh shit.
It couldn't have been any more
And
than
then stole his soul, and now they just have this little Asian kid's corpse, and they can't get rid of it.
No, Sharon just feeds it to the crew.
No, he's still alive. He's just a soulless husk wandering around. They use him as a roadie. He just
So I wanted to go, and he's dead, and then Sharon just gives it to those little dogs, those Jeepy dogs that shit all over the house on the show. Did you watch the Osbourne show?
Oh, these dogs are shitting everywhere. That was the worst thing. I remember watching it as a kid, being like, "Oh, this is cool," like Ozzy, and then like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
About 3 episodes in, and I'm like, yeah. And I first saw it too. Like, this is not going to be good. Like, when you open your life up like this, it's going to be expected of you forever. Like, people still think, like, they still do Osbourne's shit. Like, they did it a couple of years ago, like another one, you know. I know it's reunion money, but the kid, like Jack Osbourne, went through rehab a bunch of times, and would that have happened if he wasn't a celebrity at, you know, as a kid? Like, everybody knew who he was. I remember my friend, like, telling me, oh yeah, we hung out at Prudential with Jack fucking Osbourne, like, Ozzy's kid. We were just hanging backstage with him. You know, he's like a kid, but he's fucking hanging out with all these, like, older fucking people, like, probably learning God knows what. Yeah. It's not good, you know? I don't know, it makes me nervous, like, the whole, even bringing fucking kids anywhere. I don't think kids should be anywhere. I think it should be only
There shouldn't
adults.
just be any kids, period.
Not like a backstage at a fucking metal show or at a metal show, you know, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was 18 and fucking taking video of Archdemon Choir. It was like the, you know, Witches of Moodus? They're like a metal band from Clifton. It was like the band after Witches of Moodus. Ricky Rocket. Yeah, he was the drummer of Witches. The singer of that band had a band, Archdemon Choir, so I was like doing video. It was like a big deal that I was 18 in the club in Dingbats. They're like, we're not supposed to have these fucking kids.
Make sure you got a bracelet. Don't serve that.
Yeah,
shit.
I told the other, like, dude, I go, I gotta take fucking video. I go, if I wanted to drink, I wouldn't have time. I'm like, don't worry, I'm fine. X out my fucking hands, put an X across my fucking face. Like, I don't care. And then Freddie was cool with me. But it's like, now you go to, fucking kids will just be in a band.
Well, I like going to local breweries, and there's fucking kids and babies. I'm like,
people
we're at
babies?
Yeah, it's annoying. It's like, dude, we're at a place where you make and buy and drink beer. It's basically like a much nicer bar, and you can go on a tour and see how it's made.
Yeah.
There's babies and 6-year-olds, and I'm like, why are little children at the brewery? Come on now.
What are the good breweries? Like, I know there's a ton of them now around here.
Local ones? Let's see.
Did you go to the one that just opened?
Yeah, I haven't. There's one. Is that the one in Montclair that just opened?
There's one in.
There is one that just opened.
Ghost Walk or something?
Yeah, Ghost Walk. Where are they? I saw that online.
Is that Clifton or?
It is in Clifton, and I have because it's not far from you. There's one in Clifton.
Yeah, let's go.
Within the last couple of weeks. These guys up in Sussex. There's a couple out in Hackettstown. It's a hike from here.
I like
There's
that
a
one
few
in
in
Asbury.
Hackensack.
There's one that's elementary.
I think there's two. They're down the street from each other.
Yeah, no, because
elementary.
there's this crazy character who shows up to shows named Ronnie Jones, and the last show I ran into him, he gave me a beer from one of the Hackensack breweries. It was pretty good. He's this like big dude. I think he's been to a lot of metal shows, and he has his own little shillelagh because I guess he has leg problems. And he says crazy shit on Facebook. That's classic.
So did some law change where they can open breweries now, or is it just that's like
changed? They
can't have entertainment anymore.
Yeah, they can't have entertainment. They
bars
can't
are getting pissed off, and they can't
sell food. They can only sell their beer.
But a lot of the breweries will have like a food truck nearby. Like the Asbury one, they had this like Taylor ham sandwich.
They got a food truck right outside, or just a plate of menus. And it's like, this pizzeria, this deli, this Chinese will deliver food here. Or if you walk in with a pizza, they couldn't care less. A lot of times, we'll walk in with hoagies and get some beer, and then just eat our sandwiches and drink our beer.
To separate it from a bar, they had to, because New Jersey's like liquor commission is really dominant. It screwed my wine business. I had to get out because we weren't allowed to have incentives anymore. And it's like, what's the fucking point? So I dropped out. But like, you have to have a tour
But some of them get really creative with the tour. Here's a menu. This is our facility, and they just show you a picture.
It's painted on the wall. Take the tour. Look at the mural. Okay, now I know how beer is made. River Horse down by.
What was that? Atlantic Highlands, right?
Well, River Horse is a local one. They have a Viewmaster, so you click through. Okay, I took the tour. Now give me some beer.
Yeah, so there's a reach around for that.
They play
a reach around, a go around, but yeah,
there's a reach around. That's behind. That's in the
dude that's been drumming
the tour.
The dude that's been drumming for the Aces, Lou, he had a regular gig at one of the breweries where he just do acoustic stuff and enjoyed it. He made decent money or whatever. And then they changed the laws where they weren't allowed to have entertainment because a lot of the bar owners were getting really pissy about it. So, because they don't have to have the liquor license like a bartender does. And then the bartenders have to pay do they have to pay ASCAP for bands doing cover songs?
I don't know.
That's probably
there's an
crux of that, I bet you.
Yeah, I think because the dude from Roxy and Dukes had a quote in the NewJersey.com article I read about it, and he's like, I gotta pay these entertainment fees.
Yeah.
Why do these guys get away with it? It kills my business. Well, don't have your fucking stupid wife as a bartender who sucks. Anyway. I'm bitter. I waited 10 minutes for a damn drink. That's too long.
Even so did I, but then
busiest.
Troy bought it, so I was fine. I didn't care.
Oh wait, you were there for that?
I don't know. I was there Halloween.
No, I wasn't at Halloween.
Oh, you weren't at Halloween?
Yeah, Troy does buy a lot of rounds.
Troy from the Accelerators. Yeah,
he buys rounds.
Yeah,
he's a good dude.
He won't let me walk away without a beer in my hand.
Oh yeah,
He's a sweetheart. But then he always, no, me and him always kind of grab each other's ass.
Oh yeah. Well,
then it's like,
sometimes wears a skirt.
But then we say, I'll give you 10 minutes to knock that off. It's like the joke, you know? So, I don't know.
Anyway.
What's the asshole of the week?
Oh God. Go to me last.
Oh, I didn't do my homework. I didn't realize I had to do
Just
that.
pick anybody. Just look next to you. Who's next to you?
Nah.
Too easy.
Start us off, Phil. What do you think?
Thanks, man.
I've just passed the buck.
My asshole of the week this week is me, because apparently I've been rushing social media posts at work and making typos, and my Chinese boss, who English is his second language, found out or figured or saw a post with typos in it and called and yelled at the graphic designer about it.
Good. Then fuck him.
Instead of yelling at me, her. And she was kind of put out, and I was like, I guess he's not yelling at me, but I'm not really one to take yelling very well. So maybe you just decided to take it out on her. Like it's like when you're a teacher and you say, well, we're just going to torture the rest of the class until you behave, you know. And then, you know, they
Like the military.
I don't really...
You don't have to do push-ups, but everybody else does.
Right, I mean,
Now you have to
I don't know
answer
what he's
them.
doing, but I don't know why he yelled at her. Maybe he's just afraid that I'll quit or something. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm the asshole of the week, and my boss is also kind of the asshole of the week as well.
All right. My asshole of the week is Passaic County's Water Commission subcontractors.
Oh, right.
All right. So here's the deal. 3 weeks ago, we got a letter in the mail from the town of Clifton, this ominous letter. We're doing work. I'm like, what else is new? We're on Valley Road. They're always doing fucking work. And they're like, we're going to clean the main line and water service may be spotty, whatever. Call this number to make an appointment. Allie calls the number. I look outside. I'm like, what's that orange hose doing out there? Allie's on the phone with a person. The person says,
It's Ernie's dick!
It's Ernie's dick. So then Allie's on the phone with a person, and she's like, well, they're like, do you have an orange hose? She's like, yes. What they didn't ask her is it hooked up?
Yeah.
So weeks go by, they shut off the line, we don't have fucking water. And I did not do well with not having water for 3 days. I'm like, it was, and I don't know, it was just like a perfect storm of bullshit.
Did you resort to cannibalism?
No, I just yelled a lot.
Did you drink your own urine?
So I guess I'm kind of the asshole of the week. No, it didn't come to that. But my wife is very clever. To flush the toilet, we use dehumidifier water.
Oh yeah.
It's just unfortunately, my shits are massive, and there wasn't enough humidity to get rid of them. No, that didn't happen.
So you were what, a 1 on the chart, the poop chart?
Yeah, where was your poop on the poop chart,
You were a
Jim?
6.
Elephants.
My poop is heavy, and sometimes it goes.
Was it
into
like
the
a
toilet.
sausage or like nuts?
More of a sausage. But did you ever see the invisible poop? You like poop and you look down and there's no poop in there, and because it's so heavy, it just kind of goes into the bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call
Slides right in
The
the tube.
slider?
Yeah. It's bad if it floats, right? Like that means you need more fiber or
Maybe.
plastic.
More plastic in your poop. Eat more plastic.
You got an asshole? It could be.
I think he generally has one.
I have an asshole.
How is it feeling?
How does it feel?
It's a little sweaty at the moment. It's hot in here.
It is warm in here. I gotta rethink my
Does it have to be
outfits.
a person? Can I blame the deer in my neighborhood for eating all the stuff in my yard? They're the assholes of the week.
The deer ate all this stuff. The deer
Yeah.
could be the asshole.
Wow, right.
Absolutely.
This has been going on for 10 years
Fucking
with these
deers.
guys. Like, he has done every freaking contraption known to man to keep them away from.
I gave up on vegetables. I had
Do you
small
need a
vegetable garden.
claymore or something?
I'm thinking like, yeah, that actually not like claymores because that's more spread. I'm thinking just a standard landmine that they step on and blows them up.
Yeah.
Can you get, like, wolf semen and just, like,
It's
splatter
urine.
it?
But I mean, semen might work too.
Wolf semen. Because if you're going to come around and wolf
You're
your
gonna
fucker.
jerk up a wolf
So you've been
and throw it
dealing
at
with
the
that
deer?
for years? Like you built like contraptions and shit?
Like fencing and like moved stuff and tried to get like buy stuff at the garden center. It's like spray this and it'll keep the deer away, and try cayenne pepper to keep the deer away, and try this to keep the deer.
Cayenne pepper doesn't do shit.
Yeah, they come and they eat whatever you plant. So I just gave up.
Because we get all the assholes from the Garrett Mountain, they come down and feast on Allie's flowers, and then I have to hear about it.
Oh, the asshole deer?
Asshole deer. At least they get like the.
That's funny. Where you live is basically where I used to sneak down from Garrett Mountain and go to the Quick Check.
Yeah, oh yeah, I live right there.
Like when I was in Boy Scouts, we fucking hiked like 4 miles to get to that spot up there where you can climb over a fucking fence by a lean-to and go down, and there's a Quick Check by your house. I don't know how that works on a map. But that's what I did when I was a Boy Scout.
Did you get your Quick Check badge?
Dude, I went down there, fucking came back with porn and snacks.
Nice.
It was the best.
Everyone was like,
They're singing the hero of the day.
If I'm gonna, you know what? I'll say my asshole of the week is me for the shit we did in Boy Scouts, because we used to take remember those rockets you could build?
yeah.
You would build it and it had what was called an engine that was just like some gunpowder in like a tube.
Yeah.
Fuck building rockets, okay? We were Boy Scouts, we had a pipe, we had a dude.
Pipe bombs.
No, we had a dude that fucking would like hold the pipe, another dude would put the fucking engine in there, hook up the little shit, press the button, and we would just shoot that shit into the woods.
Wow.
And then we had all dudes in the woods, oh, got it, put it out. Okay, great. Until the day we didn't put it out. And the fucking fire department drove a fire truck up to the fucking woods. We're like, how'd this start? We're like,
We don't know.
Boy Scouts.
we're safe with fire. So yeah, I'm the asshole of the week for not being like, guys, we shouldn't do this. We're gonna start
It's
a
because you
forest
didn't have your
fire.
Jiminy Cricket, that one kid.
No, you know what it was? It was because I fucking walked up, hey, what are you guys doing? And then it was, pfft, and they shot a thing into the woods. I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, morons. But what am I gonna do, rat them out? Probably should have, but I didn't. But I also stole a live round from the fucking shooting range. Got in a lot of trouble for that.
Oh.
Got ratted out by another kid in my scout troop. But he's the asshole of the week for next week. On that note,
Hey, good night, everybody.
we're
Thanks
gonna
for
get out of here. Love
y'all.
you guys. Dennis, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime, brother.
spade and neuter your pets.
Yeah. Spay your fucking dogs.
We hope you enjoyed our presentation of Cult of Contempt podcast. If you have any questions or comments, or want to hear your band on the show, just write us at cultofcontemptpodcast@gmail.com, or check us out on Instagram or right here on Facebook. On behalf of Paul and Phil, I want to thank you for listening. We'll see you next week at 8:15. I'm Jim Cook. Transmission out.